Good morning, CG. Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. Good morning, CG. I'm Julia.
And I'm Jordan, and we have your CGTV broadcast for Friday, March 15th.
Today, we have a preview of the basketball team's semi-state matchup with Ben Davis, a feature on the boys volleyball team, a story on March Madness, as well as a recap of Tuesday's talent show.
On Tuesday night, students, teachers, parents, and staff gathered to watch students showcase their talents on the stage for the annual talent show. Gracie Marsh has a recap for you.
On Tuesday, Center Grove held its annual talent show, sponsored by Mrs. McDougall and the senior class. There were acts ranging from dancing to playing ukulele to even singing in Japanese. Students reflect on their favorite part of the show.
Probably going out on stage and just having fun with the comedy skit and my friends. It was just really fun, and we messed up some, but we could go off of that and just joke around about it.
Probably the Romero dance group.
I would have to say the one where I did with Romero and the whole dance team, because it was just a very different experience because I never danced with the dance team before, and it was fun to just have that freedom and be able to do, Romero's choreo.
The event raised over $900 for the senior class, as well as showcased talents from students all over the school.
Thanks, Gracie.
Did you know that we have club sports teams with varsity and JV teams? The boys volleyball team had 3 matches this week, and we have the story.
The varsity men's volleyball season has started off with a game against Brebeuf on March 12th, showing them the skills that they need to work on to continue improving their season.
Last 2 games, we started off slow, and we didn't have enough energy. And I just think that we're keeping up with the good teams that are good last year, and that if we were to just come together and have energy and come to play as a team and not as a separate person, I think we would do better.
Staying focused and not letting people get into our heads and just not get down on ourselves when we make bad plays or have a bad run on points.
Reflecting on the first few games, the team universally agrees that their lack of teamwork is their biggest obstacle to overcome.
I think one of our main issues is team chemistry, and not in the sense that we don't get along, but we tend to argue with each other on the court a lot. So when one of us makes a mistake, we dwell on it for 2 serves, and that screws us over because we're still dwelling on something that happened 2 serves ago. So, yeah.
Many of the members are first-year players, so they're learning the rules of the sport as well as competing at the varsity level.
There's a few guys on the team that me too, that I haven't been involved in volleyball before, so it's just getting our skills built up so that we can play and win games.
With a few games already under their belt, the boys are taking what they have learned from their struggles to state.
I mean, it would be pretty awesome to make it past regionals, semi-state, and even state. Like I said, we're much first-year players. So.
A successful season would be going to state and winning.
Thanks, guys.
The brackets for the March Madness tournament come out on Sunday. Drew Green and Mitch Runkle inform us on how some students strategize their brackets.
This weekend is Selection Sunday for the NCAA tournament and marks the beginning of March Madness 2019. Every year, professionals and amateurs alike try to put together the perfect bracket. With a 64-team bracket broken down into 4 regions with 16 seeds each, it's nearly impossible to guess the winners of every game correctly. The odds of picking the perfect bracket are actually 1 in 2.4 trillion. Many students have different strategies when picking their perfect bracket. Some of these strategies may prove to work, however, most of the time, it just comes down to pure luck.
I make my bracket just by going by their seeding.
Strategies that I do for it is offensive efficiency, definitely field goal percentage. I know they say defense wins championships, but I think in the tournament, really just offensive firepower really gets the job done.
But I don't really know anything about college basketball, so I just pick my brackets randomly.
Even before the seeding has been determined, some students still believe they know who will be the champion this year.
So who I think is going to win is going to be Gonzaga, most likely.
I think Gonzaga is going to win. the championship this year?
My favorite team is Villanova, and I feel like they're going to win the championship.
Every year, at least one team busts everyone's brackets, so some students think they know which teams will be that underdog this year.
Who I think the underdog team's going to be would be IU if they make the tournament, because no one expects anything from them.
And any underdogs, I feel like IU will be an underdog.
Any underdogs? I like Wofford. Go Terriers.
If you're a fan of college basketball or just enjoy the fun of making your own bracket, March Madness is quickly approaching, so you'll be able to start filling out your own brackets after Selection Sunday.
Thanks, guys.
Tomorrow, the boys basketball team will travel to Washington High School to play in the Final Four for the first time in the team's history, taking on Ben Davis at 6 p.m. We have the story.
On Saturday, the boys basketball team will travel to Washington to take on Ben Davis in the team's first ever Final Four appearance with a berth in the state championship game on the line. Coach Zach Hahn knows the keys to the team's success will involve both offense and defense.
I think the key for us is really dictating tempo, making sure we take great shots on the offensive end, and then we have to control the glass. Ben Davis is a phenomenal rebounding team. If we do a good job boxing out and control the tempo of the game, that'll be our keys to success.
I think the big keys are just stopping their two main guys, DeJuan Jones and Jalen Wyndham. They're both averaging about 20 points per game, so we stop both of them. That's 40 of their points, and they just can't score enough to beat us.
Senior Cam Petty agrees that containing 6'9" Ohio State football recruit DeJuan Jones and shooting guard Jalen Wyndham, who shoots 44% from the three-point range, will be important.
So a couple of challenges is they have a few D1 athletes, and not only do they have a few D1 athletes, but they have a 6'9", 350-pound offensive lineman that's really good. But if Trace can handle him and me, Nico, and Spencer can handle their shooter, who's like 6'5", that should be a couple of keys to winning.
They present a lot of issues, and their team just plays really hard and they play well together. Anytime you play a team at this point in the tournament, teams are playing their best basketball. So it's going to be a tough physical battle from start to finish.
Having played Ben Davis during the regular season, a game the Trojans won 56-45, the team hopes to build off of their success in both that game and in last week's regional, where Center Grove won its two games by a combined 48 points.
We have a lot of film on Ben Davis, or us playing them, and that's always better than having other teams play them, so that definitely helps. And I guess we just know their tendencies a little better, and whenever you play somebody, it's easier to play them again, knowing what they do a little bit. But they also know what we do, so it'll just be a good game.
We don't want to do anything different. We just want to be better at what we did the first time. I think this time if we do a better job taking away Jalen Wyndham, coming off ball screens and going to his left hand and shooting pull-ups, then that'll give us a better chance. But overall, we want to do what we did last time, which was dominate the glass and dictate the tempo.
While the team is excited to be playing in their first Final Four, players know there's still one more to accomplish.
Especially for our seniors, just to be in our first state championship ever is a really big deal, and I think that the younger guys are starting to buy into what we're doing, so I think that everyone really wants that success.
A win to the team not only would be like the biggest thing in history for us, but it would also be the biggest thing in school history. We don't have any state basketball championships for basketball, let alone getting there. So either way, a win this weekend would be huge for the school.
If you're planning to head to Washington tomorrow for the game, you can buy your ticket for $10 in the athletic office until 1 p.m. today.
Best of luck to the basketball team and the girls and boys track and field teams who compete in their indoor conference meet tonight.
And that's all we have for you today, CG. Don't forget to pick up a Trojan Year in your STAR class today. Bye.